Elon Musk is continuing his attacks on President Trump, now claiming Trump is included in the infamous Epstein files, and that is the real reason they have not been released. It's a reference to the investigation into disgraced financier Jeffrey Epstein, whose death in jail in 2019 and ties to top figures in politics have been the subject of many conspiracies. Musk also said without him, Trump would have lost the 2024 presidential election. Such ingratitude. That was Musk's response to a video of Trump claiming he didn't need Musk to win the key state of Pennsylvania, and that Musk is upset he's no longer in the White House inner circle. In short, arguably the most important political alliance of the last election is breaking apart in full public view. Joining us to discuss, Brett Samuels, White House reporter here at The Hill. So Brett, Musk gave over $250 million to President Trump and Republican candidates in the 2024 election cycle. The breakup of this political marriage, what do you see as the significance?
Yes, certainly it could be very significant both in the short term and the long term. Obviously, Elon Musk is somebody who has a big megaphone, obviously, millions of followers on X. He is somebody who posts a lot, who has a lot of folks who admire him for his business acumen and sort of his unorthodox personality. So certainly there's that short-term potential impact that, without Musk's support, you have a very sort of vocal and powerful enemy opposing your agenda. And then long term, you mentioned, Drew, obviously the millions of dollars that Musk spent to help get Trump elected. If Musk is withholding that money from Republicans and Trump moving forward, or if he's using it to oppose Republican candidates potentially, that's potentially very significant as we look ahead to the midterms when Republicans are most likely, based on historical trends, going to be playing defense.
What do you make of this claim by Musk that Trump wouldn't have won without him? Surely he spent a lot of money. He was crucial to helping Trump's campaign in Pennsylvania, but I mean, it's kind of immeasurable to know exactly what the full impact was.
Yeah, I definitely think that's definitely a fair read on that post that we saw from Elon Musk. Certainly Democrats had a bevy of problems of their own during the last election, obviously swapping out candidates with just a few months before Election Day. We saw obviously President Trump swept those battleground states, not just Pennsylvania, where Elon Musk did spend a lot of his time and his resources. But, I think it is certainly Elon Musk maybe taking a bit of extra credit for himself to suggest that he was the one who put Trump over the top.
Trying to understand what exactly is behind all this. Musk says it's all about the big, beautiful bill and the level of deficit spending and its impact on the national debt that it has. But a lot of people are looking to other aspects of this bill, including what it does with renewable energy credits, especially tax credits that go to electric vehicles. What do you make of that aspect of it?
Yeah, that has been sort of, I think, the easiest explanation for folks who are trying to brush aside Elon Musk's criticism. They point to those electric vehicle credits that are being phased out. Obviously, those are beneficial to Tesla, an electric vehicle company that Elon Musk runs. Certainly, Tesla could take a hit financially if this bill goes through in its current form. So certainly, I think as President Trump and as Republicans try to sort of explain away why Elon Musk is up in arms about this bill, that's sort of the most logical conclusion, is that he's concerned about his own sort of bottom line, his own business interests. So, I think there may be some validity to that. But, as far as Elon Musk is concerned, he has been very adamant that this is about the fact that it adds to the national deficit, that it sort of undercuts the work that he was doing with Doge for the last 4 months, trying to pare back government spending.
And Musk even posted on Twitter, okay, do away with the EV credits. I still don't like the bill. But I also want to ask about the NASA administrator, Jared Isaacman. He was a close ally of Musk, was being considered for the position of NASA administrator. His consideration was pulled, I think it was last week. The explanation that was given from Trump world is that it was because of his past donations to Democrats. Well, there are plenty of people in Trump world that have given to Democrats. There are plenty of people in Trump world that were Democrats, the president included.
Absolutely. It is kind of, hard to take at face value when that's the criticism. Just a couple of weeks ago, Trump referred to his own labor secretary as a Democrat, as sort of a bit of a needling. So certainly I think, folks looked at that with skepticism. There is this idea that obviously Jared Isaacman, with his nomination, which had already made it through the necessary Senate committee, we should note, was withdrawn essentially within hours of Elon Musk departing the White House as a special government employee. So, certainly from folks I've heard from, there is a lot of sort of speculation that this was sort of, a jab at Elon Musk on his way out the door, that they were going to pull his ally, who he had really advocated for, to take this position. And of course, Elon Musk and SpaceX, his company, certainly has a lot of interest, vested interest in what happens at NASA and what happens with space exploration.
Some people might be looking at this and saying, wow, this is kind of all blowing up right now in the current times, but others might point out that the writing for a souring of this relationship has kind of been on the wall for a while now, and may have started back during earlier in the administration over tariff policy. There were some sparring, arguing back and forth inside the White House between Musk and other members of Trump's cabinet.
Absolutely, yeah. This I think this sort of very public implosion is sort of laying bare a lot of tensions that had existed for a while between Elon Musk and maybe not Trump himself, but certainly Trump's advisors. Musk did publicly bickered with Peter Navarro, Trump's top trade advisor, over tariff policy. Behind closed doors, he was clashing with Secretary of State Marco Rubio, Treasury Secretary Scott Bessent. So, certainly Elon Musk was not exactly the most beloved figure in the Trump White House. Senior officials certainly had their problems with him. But the fact that Elon Musk stayed on Trump's good side certainly did him a lot of good here, up until today, when we saw this massive falling out that started with the reconciliation bill, but certainly has spiraled since then.
Tesla stock is plummeting as these tweets come out from Elon Musk. It's interesting, first he pissed off all the liberals who bought his electric cars. Now it seems like he's going to be in a battle with Trump and MAGA world. Is Tesla doomed?
Yeah, no, it certainly seems like he's caught in the middle, maybe taking heat from both sides here. As you mentioned, Drew, obviously, Trump himself went out and bought a Tesla on the south lawn of the White House to show support for the company when, liberals seemed to be boycotting Teslas. There was obviously vandalism happening at Tesla dealerships and 2 Tesla vehicles. And now we see, and Tesla's stock had taken a hit then. And now we see it again taking a hit because Musk is battling with President Trump himself over his sort of signature policy item here. So, certainly Elon Musk may be finding himself caught between the two sides here. It'll be interesting to see if he and the folks at Tesla can kind of find their way out and reassure, Wall Street, consumers, and everyone in the process.
How worried is the White House that this fight could blow up the president's legislative agenda? Obviously, the big, beautiful bill is working its way through Congress. There are slim margins. There's opposition coming from both the House and the Senate. Is this fight happening at a really inopportune time?
Yeah, I think certainly it's happening in an inopportune time because, there are some criticisms coming from Republicans on the Hill about this bill. Obviously, it still needs to pass the Senate, and you have folks like Rand Paul, like Ron Johnson, senator from Wisconsin, who have raised some concerns about this bill, particularly around how it adds to the deficit, which, of course, the Trump White House disputes. But the fact that Elon Musk is really harping on that draws attention to their arguments. It provides sort of an ally and a megaphone for those arguments. So, while I think the White House and Republicans are still fairly confident that this gets done in the end, certainly Elon Musk is drawing further attention to some of the divisions within the party over this bill.
It'll be interesting to see how he continues to use his political influence. One of the most vocal and prominent voices on X, where a lot of political conversation is had, especially on the right. So it'll be something we'll have to continue to follow. But for now, we'll leave this conversation at that. Brett Samuels, thanks so much.
Thanks, Drew.